everybody, and welcome to another episode of the yapfest featuring Ben and Lola. You know me as the Rizzler. I'm the panther dressed in black. When I give your girl the Riz face, there ain't a chance she's coming back.
What the fuck? And I'm the milkman. And welcome to the yapfest podcast.
Yeah.
Mine was so lame in comparison.
Are you familiar with it's the son and dad that go to Costco?
Yeah, I know them.
And it's like, we're Costco guys. Of course we shop around with the chicken bake.
Yeah.
Double chunk chocolate cookie.
I low-key love those videos a lot, actually.
They came out with a song called Boom, and he goes, you know me as the Rizzler. I'm the panther dressed in black. When I give your girl the Riz face, there's no chance she's coming back.
I might not be coming back after this, you guys.
And like, he's the only one in the entire rap that spits bars.
Also, I'm drinking Oreo flavored Coke right now.
Is it good?
It's so good.
Is it really?
It's so good. Like, it actually tastes like Oreo. Like more like the cream part of the Oreo, but like it actually tastes like Oreo.
That's the best part of the Oreo.
No, exactly. It's actually really good. It also kind of like there's like a hint of chocolate taste. I have no idea where to buy them, but if you can ever find them, I think they only come in the mini cans, but they're actually so good.
That's crazy. And I gave up dark soda.
Oh, you did? For what?
Yeah.
Labor Day or just because?
Just cause.
I mean, like, that's probably a good thing. I probably shouldn't be drinking it right now, TBH.
After I moved after school, we just haven't kept it in the house. When we go out, we get like
Sprite,
light soda or water or like iced tea. I love me a good sweet tea. I'm a sweet tea snob.
That's crazy because we don't live in the South.
No, I know.
Like, I'm more South than you.
All it took was me to visit my cousins in Georgia one time for good old Georgia peach sweet tea.
And you were hooked.
The best fast food sweet teas there are. To me, it really depends on the mood. For convenience, it's McDonald's. And for actual flavor, it's Cane's. Raising Cane's.
I've never had Cane's sweet tea. I've had McDonald's sweet tea. It's fine. I've never had Cane's sweet tea.
I think it's pretty good. And it's endorsed by Ice-T.
Oh, like the person.
Like the rapper, yes.
I was like, what do you mean? That's funny.
Yeah, it's Ice-T sponsored Ice-T.
That's kind of really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish, like, I feel like Ice-T and Snoop Dogg are everywhere.
They're truly completing side quests at this point.
Well, because, like, Snoop Dogg was on the Olympics, and apparently he's doing the Olympics again in 2028 or whenever.
That's crazy.
And also, he just is, like, I found out recently he was, like, he's sports announced before. He's just in the most random places. He was a sports announcer for WWE, and he, like, has announced football and all that kind of shit. And he just, like, I follow him on Instagram. He's so random.
And, like, truly, he's such a family man. His grandchildren are his entire life, and he obviously wants to attend all their birthday parties, but he doesn't want all of his grandkids' parents and grandparents being like, oh my God, it's Snoop Dogg. And so he hires himself as the costumed entertainment of the party.
He's
like,
so
he
funny.
dresses up in, like, mascot costumes.
I love that.
So he can attend his kid's birthday party but not get recognized. Now he's a judge on The Voice.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about which is crazy to me because, like, does he know about singing or just rapping?
I don't know.
I don't know. I've never heard. I mean, I don't doubt that he can sing. He probably can. I've just only ever heard him rap. So I don't know. Does he coach rappers or?
I've heard him sing.
Is it good?
Sleigh bells ring. Are you listening? In the lane.
No, it's listening. I love that movie. I love that movie with my life. I wish they would. Is that like, did they ever release that?
It's probably out there.
Oh my God. That's my favorite scene in that movie. My absolute favorite. That's the second Pitch Perfect, right?
Yeah, it's Pitch Perfect too. It's when she's working that internship.
Uh-huh. You know what? Actually, he did sound good on that. So I kind of believe he can sing. I ate a late breakfast and then I forgot to eat like another meal. So I'm eating
Mhm.
popcorn and I'm just gonna mute myself if it is too loud. So
No, you're all good.
sorry.
Now that we spent 10 minutes going on and on about nonsense, um, we are discussing conspiracy theories.
I'm dressed as Lucifer from the Denver airport.
Have you heard of Hollow Earth?
I've heard of it, but I don't really know the extent. Like I know the basic concept,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't really know the extent of it. I'm sure it's a lot crazier than I think it is.
As a whole, the concept it proposes that planet Earth is an entirely hollow or contains substantial interior space.
Like my understorage bed.
Yeah, essentially.
Mm.
Like it's not just like solid matter all the way down, like through magma or the Earth's core. And here's the thing we truly don't know. We can only theorize what's underneath the Earth's surface because out of its thousands of miles deep to the core, we have only gone less than 10 miles into the Earth's crust.
For some reason, I thought they knew for sure what was on, or is it an estimate? Because there's allegedly like magma at the very center, and then it's like there are allegedly
There
different.
is research
Oh,
and
okay.
alleged like theorized hypothetical ideas of what's underneath the Earth's surface. And we figured this out by like studying different parts of the world and the density of the Earth and so forth. Uh, just off of like calculations and math and what we know about existing planets. However, we've only gotten less than 10 miles down
That's crazy,
through the Earth's crust because of the heat.
right? It's like
It's
how
too,
we can't go too close to the sun.
yes, it's too hot. Especially people can't go down there. But even machines and technology start to falter and deteriorate. Like, we have yet to come up with technology to truly find out what's underneath the Earth's surface. And so there's many a theory that the Earth is hollow, but where the theory differs between place to place is what is in this hollow space. And a
Ooh,
lot of people consider the idea of a subterranean race that
what?
lives underneath the Earth's surface.
What? Okay, yeah,
I'm,
it
not-
was
I'm
weirder than I thought. It was weirder than I thought.
yes. Um, and I'm not talking like it's gamer dudes on Reddit shit posting. I'm talking like almost every ancient civilization has claims of people living underneath the Earth's surface.
Wait. Do you think that the ancient Egyptians, you know how the tombs were underground?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that there are tunnels? Probably they're so old now, probably they're now collapsed. Do you think there are tunnels? This is crazy. I don't usually do this. It's usually you speculating. What if there are tunnels in the ancient tombs that go all the way down into the earth? Wait, but if it's too hot, they're literally like a different species.
Yes.
That's fucking crazy. Okay, go on.
Yes.
I have to know
Um,
more.
well, what we've been told is that it's too hot. This is
Oh,
this is me taking the perspective of someone who believes the theory.
gotcha. Okay.
Disclaimer, I don't necessarily do, but for as I discuss this, I'm going to talk as if from the perspective of someone proposing this theory. And one of the most famous people who have proposed this idea of hollow earth is Edmund Halley. Is that name familiar to you?
No.
Edmund Halley is mostly known as a 17th century astronomist who named Halley's Comet.
Oh,
But there have been other theories that have been proposed, um, and other people to support this idea. It pops up frequently in mythology, folklore, and legends that there is a subterranean race that lives underneath the Earth's surface. Usually, it's occasionally intertwined with the idea of the afterlife. Like in Greek mythology, we assume that underneath the surface is the underworld.
oh, literally.
Like literally. But a lot of other ancient cultures believe in these ancient cities that are underneath the surface, such as the underground kingdom of Agartha. According to the ancient Greeks, there were caverns under the surface, which were entrances leading to the underworld, some of which were caverns at Tainaron in Laconia, at Trozen in Argolis, and Ephia in Thesprotia. Sure. Many ways to access the underworld. In the Thracian and Dacian legends, so the Thracians and the Dacians were like another ancient civilizations on a much smaller scale than Greece, but neighboring. They interact. They believed that there were caverns occupied by an ancient god called Zamaxis. Um, in the Mesopotamian religion, there's a story of a man who, after traveling through the darkness of a tunnel into the mountain of Mashu, entered a subterranean garden. In Celtic mythology, there is a legend of a cave called Cruachan, Cruachan, also known as Ireland's Gate to Hell, a mythical and ancient cave from which strange creatures would emerge and be seen on the surface of the earth. There are also stories of medieval knights and saints who went on pilgrimages to a cave located in Station Island in Ireland, where they made journeys inside the earth into a place of purgatory.
This is
In
crazy.
country down Northern Ireland, there is a myth which says tunnels lead to a land of the subterranean Tuatha de Danann, a group of people who are believed to have introduced Druidism to Ireland and then went back underground.
What? That's a little scary to be honest.
In Hindu mythology, the underworld is referred to as Patala. In the Bengali version of the Hindu epic Ramayana, I probably butchered that. It has been depicted how Rama and Lakshmana were taken by the king of the underworld, brother of the demon king. Later on, they were rescued by Hanuman. Then, the Angami Naga tribes of India claim that their ancestors emerged in ancient times from a subterranean land inside the earth. The Taino from Cuba believe their ancestors emerged in ancient times from two caves in a mountain underground. Natives of the Trobriand Islands believe that their ancestors had come from a subterranean land through a cavern hole called Obacula. Mexican folklore also tells of a cave in a mountain 5 miles south of Ojinaga, and that Mexico is possessed by devilish creatures who came from inside the earth. In the Middle Ages, an ancient German myth held that some mountains located between Eisenbach and Gotha hold a portal to the inner earth. A Russian legend says that Samoyeds, an ancient Siberian tribe, traveled to a cavern city to live inside the earth. The Italian writer Dante describes a hollow earth in his well-known 14th century work Inferno, in which the fall of Lucifer from heaven caused an enormous funnel to appear in previously solid and spherical earth, as well as an enormous mountain opposite it, Purgatory. In Native American mythology, it is said that ancestors of the Mandan people in ancient times emerged from a subterranean land through a cave on the north side of the Missouri River.
Oh no! I've been to the Onondaga Cave.
There is also a tale about a tunnel in the San Carlos Apache Indian Reservation in Arizona near Cedar Creek, which is said to lead inside the earth to a land inhabited by a mysterious tribe. It is also the belief of the tribes of the Iroquois that their ancient ancestors emerged from a subterranean world inside Earth. The elders of the Hopi people believe that Sinapu entrance of the Grand Canyon exists, which leads to the underworld. This goes on for people in Brazil and Peru and literally all over the world. These aren't necessarily supportive of the hollow earth theory. It's just like cavernous civilizations.
Still, I think the information on its own is crazy.
Edmund Halley, in 1692, conjectured that the Earth might consist of a hollow shell about 800 kilometers or 500 miles thick, two inner concentric shells, and an innermost core. Atmospheres separate these shells, and each shell has its own magnetic poles. These spheres rotate at different speeds. Halley proposed this scheme in order to explain anomalous compass readings. He envisioned the atmosphere inside a luminous and possibly inhabited, and speculated that escaping gas caused the aurora borealis.
What?
In 1781, Leclerc Milfort led a journey with hundreds of Muskogee peoples to a series of caverns near the Red River above the junction of the Mississippi River. According to Milfort, the original Muskogee people's ancestors were believed to have emerged out to the surface of the earth in ancient times from these caverns. Milfort also claimed the caverns they saw could easily contain 15 to 20,000 families. It is often claimed that mathematician Leonard Euler proposed a single-shell hollow earth with a small sun about 1,000 kilometers across at the center, providing light and warmth for the inner Earth civilization, but that has been proven to not be true, apparently. Instead, he did a thought experiment of an object dropped into a hole drill through the center, unrelated to a hollow Earth. This comes back up in the 19th century with John Cleves Simmons Jr. Suggested that the Earth consisted of a hollow shell of about 1,300 kilometers thick, with openings about 2,300 kilometers across both poles, with 4 inner shells and each opened at the poles. Admiral Richard Byrd, born October 25th, 1888, died March 11th, 1957, was another believer of this hollow Earth theory, and came to the conclusion that the North and the South Poles were entrances to the hollow Earth. He was an American aviator and got the chance to fly over the North Pole and claimed to have found warm, green, and lush spots near the North Pole where there shouldn't have been. It's ice and snow and cold, but he found warm, lush, green land.
Is there proof of that, or he just claims that?
This was all claims.
Okay. So we don't know if that's true.
No. But where we get into a little where we can't disprove is he then got a later chance to explore the South Pole and fly over the South Pole. Same claims. If you know anything about Antarctica, very few people are allowed to visit. It is still believed that these are the entrances to the subterranean peoples in Hollow Earth.
That's fascinating.
Like it's believed to be this a more sophisticated race of people who live under the ground who are monitoring us almost like a
Truman Show.
divergent.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like not necessarily like an experiment, but like they're more aware of us than we are of them. They watch our every move. We don't know they exist.
I don't believe the theory, but I'm fascinated by it and I want
It's
to know.
extremely fascinating.
Like, I need to talk to somebody who believes this and like no, like I need to put myself in their shoes and think how they think because
It's
this
just
is
the
fascinating.
fact that every ancient civilization has like documentation of these subterranean places where people either live or can visit.
But like evolution wise though, humans descended from apes, right? As far as we know, apes never lived in caves, right?
I mean, it's a yes and no. Depends on the kind of ape.
Oh.
Mostly they're jungle dwelling. But these subterranean peoples aren't believed to be man like. This gets
Oh.
into the concept of like, I don't know how much you know about seraphim. A seraphim is a kind of angel,
Oh, sure.
a serpent like angel
I
that
never knew that.
lives underneath the surface of the earth.
Have you ever been to the Denver airport?
I have not been.
I
No.
have been to the Denver airport. And let me tell you, it is as terrifying as they say it is. Like,
Mm.
it's confusing. It's just, like, genuinely, I felt like I was trapped in time. There's so much going on with this fucking airport. So, first of all, there's this giant blue horse statue with glowing red eyes outside of the fucking airport. And apparently, somehow it's like cursed. And the guy who built the sculpture died either in like while it was being built or right after it was built.
Hmm.
And I'm pretty sure it was because something fell on him. I don't know. I think it was because of the statue or the sculpture in some way. It's truly like I'll insert a picture, but like it is truly a terrifying statue, especially when you drive past it like at night when the red eyes are glowing. It's like so many conspiracies wrapped into one location. It's crazy. One of the theories is that the airport was built by the New World Order. It has ties to like Nazis. The runways are like said to resemble like be in the shape of a swastika.
Yes.
You can kind of see it. You do kind of have to like look for it. You know what I mean? Like it's not really a blatant swastika. They had built it. I don't know if they had built the whole thing, but they built it and then they tore a lot of it down and rebuilt it and
Hmm.
there's tunnels underneath it. Oh, another thing about Lucifer is that it's supposed to be people think it's supposed to be a nod to the four horsemen of the apocalypse. It's 32 feet high. Yeah, I was right. A piece of the 9,000-pound sculpture fell on him and severed an artery in his leg. And so his son actually completed the sculpture. Apparently, some people believe that its eyes didn't start glowing red until after he died. I don't know. He intentionally put those damn red eyes in, I think. Like there's no way that that's not intentional. Another one is that it contains Illuminati headquarters, hence the tunnels. Hence it's built in a very very strange way. And if you've been there, you'll know. It's a huge airport. There's all these weird art paintings on the wall and there's like unmarked buildings and stuff like around the airport that are like airport buildings, but they're like unmarked buildings.
Mm.
Um, and there was also a time capsule that was buried on the grounds of the airport, and it's supposed to be opened in 2094. So I don't know. Do the math. Will we be alive? So it's supposed to be reopened in 2094, and it bears symbols related to Freemasons, which has ties to the Illuminati. Oh, so the underground tunnels and stuff,
Hmm.
like Illuminati vibes, but also like there's like secret bunkers in case of like like that's
Hmm.
another thing about like they they literally think that it was part of the reason it was built was because they were anticipating like an apocalypse or something.
Hmm.
Okay, so back to the artwork, because when I was there, first of all, I had already heard a lot about the conspiracy theories before I ever set foot in the airport. Okay. So like I knew I knew what was like about to happen. I just didn't
Hmm.
think that it was actually like that. Like I thought they were lying. But people think that the artwork gives clues about like the end of the world. One of them is, well, there's two murals. One of them is Children of the World Dream of Peace. The other one is In Peace and Harmony with Nature. And people think that they contain like the New World Order imagery. Like, and they think that's proof that the airport is linked to fascist secret society. What if they're living under the earth? I don't know. Maybe the maybe the tunnels in the Denver airport lead down into like the earth.
That's truly crazy.
I know, like why is everything related? It actually kind of freaks me out. I guess those murals are in storage right now because
Mm.
they're like remodeling the Great Hall, and it's going to be done in summer 2028. So, if you want to see the murals in person, you have to wait a second. But something that freaked me out the most when I was in that damn airport was, so at baggage claim, they might be other places too, but I saw them like at baggage claim. There's these gargoyle statues that do the um hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, and they are so creepy looking. Apparently, gargoyles are supposed to like ward off evil spirits and stuff. Apparently, that's what the gargoyles in the airport are for. But like, they're so creepy looking, especially with the hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, or whatever order
Yeah,
it goes
that's
in.
crazy.
Yeah, and they're like they're basically like, so they're sitting on these pedestals, but they're coming out of suitcases, and they're like stationed at baggage claim, and it looks like they're sitting in suitcases. So it's like, I guess allegedly it's to protect who like travelers' baggage and stuff, but it feels like the gargoyles are going to steal your
Yeah,
baggage.
I don't like it.
This article that I was looking at, it says that they've been known to banter with passersby, the gargoyles. I don't know if that's true. They're very much stone statues. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, if that happened, that's a little weird. They like to embrace all the conspiracy theories, but at the same time they're like it's not true, but like, oh, okay, apparently there's an animatronic gargoyle. I didn't see the one that talks.
Mm.
The one that talks apparently is somewhere else, but the ones at baggage claim, the ones that I saw, like they don't talk. But that's creepy because what if it comes alive at night? When I was in that airport, I did feel really unsafe and like really uneasy about it. And like, I don't know if it's because any of the theories about it are true, or if it's just like, because here's the thing, it is a really weird airport, but it might just be because they're trying to lean into the conspiracy about it.
Hmm.
Like, I think they intentionally make it a scary place, which is like, I don't appreciate that at all. I'm just trying to travel. A couple of years ago, My sister, well, she's my sister-in-law technically, but she was she was marrying my brother, okay? And so we did her bachelorette trip in Colorado.
That's right.
Yeah, we did her bachelorette trip in Colorado. And so me and her, we happened to get the same flight. We get on the plane like from here to there, and it's like evening, I think. I think our flight took off at like 4 or 5.
Hmm.
And I think the flight to Colorado is like 2.5 or 3 hours. Like it's
Sounds about right.
longer. It's longer for some reason. I don't know why. There were just like there were just a couple of weird things that happened on the flight, and then when we landed, and I think it was raining in Colorado, in Denver, and it was dark by that point. But like we're like on the tarmac, and I guess there was like something wrong with the plane. They couldn't, so like we couldn't get off of it yet. So we were sitting there for a second. So they fix whatever's wrong with the plane that we can't get off of it. One of her bridesmaids at the time lived in Colorado already. So she
Hmm.
was coming to the airport to pick us up, and she was parked in like a she was parked in a lot. Like she wasn't at like the pickup or whatever. So we were like, okay, we'll just like go to the lot. Like it's not hard.
Hmm.
But we had to get our baggage first. So we're like walking through this airport, and we're like, yeah, this airport is really, really strange and weird. The vibes are just off in there. There's no better way to explain it, but the vibes are just off. And so we get to baggage claim, and I'm pretty sure we waited like an hour for our baggage. I don't know what was going on. I mean, maybe it was the rain that delayed them getting the baggage inside. Like, I don't know. We're standing there, and obviously, those two gargoyles, we noticed them, and we're like, what the fuck are those? What the fuck are those? Like, those are some creepy ass motherfuckers. And so finally, we get our baggage after like an hour, and then we have to go find her friend. It's like 10 p.m. at this point. We landed at like 9, 9:30, nah, closer to 9, I think.
Hmm.
Um, and so we get our stuff, and we go to find the parking lot that her friend is in. So we go out like the doors, like the immediate doors from like baggage claim, and it's like a garage, I'm pretty sure. And so we like have her location, and so we're like trying to like get to her, but I guess you couldn't go, like we couldn't find any elevators to go straight down to the ground or like up to the highest level so we could
Hmm.
like figure out what was going on. And so we walked through this, like completely walked through this garage, zigzagging everywhere. We had to like walk down a whole bunch of stairs with our suitcase and stuff. I swear to God, it took us like 45 minutes to get to this one parking lot. And like, and I'm, I'm fairly certain this wasn't like user error type of situation. Like, why is it so twisty and windy and confusing? And so finally, we find the way out, and we get to her car, and then we get in. I think we waited another couple of minutes because we had been there so long for uh another one of the bridesmaids. And so like we got her, and she didn't have any issues. Like I don't know I don't know what was wrong with us, but like she didn't end up having any issues. And so then we go to drive away, and she's like, get ready to see Lucifer. And so we drive past that fucking horse, and it was the scariest thing I've ever seen. And then when we went back to the airport to go back home, however many days later, we go through security, and we like check our bags and everything. And we're going up an escalator for some reason, and all of a sudden, like, you know how the fire alarm or whatever flashes?
Hmm.
It was it started flashing, but it wasn't making any noise. And for like 20 or 30 minutes, we're walking through the airport and we're like, do we need to get, like, is there a fire? Why is the thingy flashing? And nobody was panicking. Like, we're just all kind of like, what do we do? Um, and so finally they come on the speaker and they're like, hey, it's just like an emergency test or whatever.
Mm.
We're like, what the fuck is this airport? We have to get out now. By the way, there's like a full garden in this fucking airport. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know how the Singapore airport looks? Have you ever seen pictures of the Singapore
Yes.
airport? There's like a full Zen garden in the Denver airport. It's so weird. And so finally, we get to the gate and we get on the plane and we go home. And to be so honest, I never want to go back to that airport.
Power has always been seen as something has been isolating. Like only the elite can hold this power. I'm going to mention a guy's name, and he's not the original person to propose the idea, but he's the person to push it the most. Of an alien race of reptilians came down and took power and could transform into humanoid forms by drinking blood.
I didn't know that part.
By drinking human blood, yes. His name is David Icke. Ick. David Icke is an English conspiracy theorist, and he wrote a book.
I swear to God, the most unqualified people are the always the people writing fucking books.
He wrote a book called The Biggest Secret. In this book, he exposed the royal family of being reptilians. And he goes on to explain um, the fact that they're all related, how they like to keep it in the family,
Ew.
basically all these awful claims about world leaders. Um, and he goes on to talk about like the presidents of the United States, um, and how all the presidents are related, such as Barack Obama can call 6 U.S. presidents his cousin.
Like, is this real?
Yes,
Oh.
genetically, they are his cousins.
Oh.
Both Bushes, General Ford, or Gerald Ford, Lyndon B. Johnson, Harry Truman, and James Madison. He is also related to Winston Churchill. He's also related to celebrities uh, such as Brad Pitt,
What?
uh, and Hillary Clinton and Angelina Jolie.
What? This is
Yes.
so weird.
Um.
This is true. You said this is true?
Yes. Yes. Genetically, they are related.
How do we know this?
Genetic testing, just having access to people's DNAs.
Do
Um.
do they know that does he know they took his DNA?
Yes. Yes. Um.
I
A
just
lot of
like I why
presidential
isn't anybody talking
candidates.
about this?
Presidential candidates are supposed to put out a health report.
Well, Kamala Harris just did.
I know. It became so big because Trump has yet to.
Yeah, that's because he's not qualified and they know it.
But DNA testing is part of it. Um,
Oh.
Even so that we know that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are 13th cousins. But as I said, they are 13th cousins. That means 13 generations ago, they share an aunt or an uncle. But that's hundreds of years ago.
Oh. Oh. Okay. That puts things into perspective.
Well, because if you go back 4 generations, you're already over 100 years back.
Oh, whoa. I didn't realize that. I have no concept of time and space to be honest, so.
Like I'm talking, everyone at this point is related to everybody. So it doesn't really prove anything. His claims also, David X claims, also targeted Jews. and the Jewish people in power. And the claims came off as very anti-Semitic, and he retaliated by saying, I don't hate the Jews, I just hate the reptilians pretending to be Jews.
Bruh. What does he even mean by that? Like,
Exactly. He's also a Holocaust denier.
bruh. Like,
Um, and he's been banned from like visiting the Netherlands and other countries. And
good.
he's just not a good person.
Is he
But
alive or is he dead?
he's alive. Because of him, lizard people is in one of the top 10 spots of most popular conspiracy theories.
I still don't really understand like where the theory even came from that there are lizard people. Like, what proof does he have?
There are a couple of traits to look for in lizard people: the way that they blink their eyes, having eyes that shift from like a green to a hazel. Like he's tracked like physical traits of lizard people.
And
And
he
like
has discovered one before.
apparently,
I don't know.
honestly,
I don't understand how he like, because here's the thing is that people can have traits in like physical traits or the way they do things in common, and
mm.
like it can mean nothing at all.
Well, he's also not the first person to propose this. He's just the one who's
Oh,
popularized it.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the way that I grew up, but how do you not believe something like how do you believe in something without there being extensive evidence and proof that it's a thing? Like, I just don't understand it in like concrete evidence and concrete proof. But like going back to the thing about like people think Democrats manufactured the hurricanes or whatever. How do you believe that? How and all the shit that Marjorie Taylor Greene says? Girl, like I just don't understand. Is it because they genuinely believe it or is it because they want power and to fearmonger everybody else? Is the like as far as we know, is the Illuminati real? Like if it's supposed to be a secret society, how do we know about it? Like
Well,
it's a ploy. It's a
this
plot.
is this is how conspiracy theories spiral out of control. Because we can continue talking about this. The way the public talks about the Illuminati, it's we've learned to look for very specific things, and for all we know, they're simply just red herrings as we're looking the other way.
But like still, why would we know about it if like it's supposed to be secret?
I truly think it's to create discourse and have us like having this preconceived notion of what the organization is, and so we're looking for the organization doing that when they're actually over here doing something else.
I don't think aliens are a conspiracy theory, really. I think they're more like I don't know if you consider them supernatural. I think that aliens are real.
I
I
know they
really do. Well because like there's no way that like and it could be outside of our solar system, outside of our galaxy, outside of our universe. There could be other universes.
the multiverse.
Yeah, well, but like there's no way that there is no other like even if it's like I don't know. Even if it's not as uh sentient as us, like there's no way there's like no other life
Out there.
anywhere.
Absolutely. I
You know what
totally
I
agree.
mean?
Mm.
There have to be other solar systems like ours where there is a star like our sun and planets that are around it that can sustain life. There's just no way that that's like it's just that we like obviously space travel is so limited and so unreliable, I guess. Like we just haven't really gotten that far into it,
Hmm.
like
We're
realistically
talking
speaking.
the nearest galaxies are light years away.
Exactly. And
And
also, it's like we can't live that long to be able to get there and figure it out.
yeah, because it's the speed at which light takes to get in 1 year, and we have yet to move anywhere close to light speed. I'm sorry, flat earthers. Genuinely, what the fuck?
What the fuck? Because there are literally images of the Earth. Why don't you believe in science?
Oh,
Why don't
they're
people
AI.
believe in science?
Oh, they're drawings. Oh, if every other planet in the galaxy is fucking spherical, why is Earth flat?
No, because that's what I want to know.
There's
Why
no
do they
curve to the horizon. Yeah, it's because the Earth is so fucking big and your brain is so fucking small that you can't comprehend.
like if you were a giant, also when you're in a plane, you can kind of see it.
And it's the reason why we have a horizon, the reason why we see where the sky meets land is because of that curve. It curves downward. We can't
Yeah.
see further than that point.
Yeah. I just don't understand. Also, by now, you would have known if somebody walked the whole thing and fell off. You would know. Like, what do you think the ocean is? I don't understand it. I really don't get it. We literally have pictures of the Earth, and like, genuinely, how would the Earth be flat if every other planet in the galaxy, yeah, in the galaxy is spherical, and our moons are spherical. All the other planets' moons are spherical, I think, or like
Yeah, for the most part.
some of them are like janky, like they look like rocks because
Yeah.
they are rocks, but like they're, you know, like they're
Yeah.
somewhat spherical. They're 3D. They're not flat. I just don't get it.
It's like
I really don't.
physics
so
wouldn't
much
allow physics wouldn't allow the earth to be flat because
Yeah.
matter wants to collapse in on itself, which is why we have that spherical shape. It's an even distribution of that gravitational pull.
Yeah, and how do you explain like seasons in the Earth's tilt? Like
Really?
the Earth rotates, and there's evidence that it rotates. So like, what do you
It
think?
fucking where do you think fucking wind comes from?
Literally,
Movement. Literally it's the movement of the earth.
literally. Like I don't know where they're getting this stuff from. Have you seen and Matt Berry is in it. It's called Crapopolis, and it's basically like you would like it. But it's basically like this guy, his name is Tyrannus, I think. He is like the king of an ancient civilization or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And there are all these different characters, but basically one of his siblings is I can't remember the name of the character, but he's like a scientist, and
Mm-hmm.
so he's like figuring out all this sciencey stuff that we like obviously we know now, but in the show it's like ridiculous. I don't know, he does like really really ridiculous experiments to figure out conclusions to things that we like
Mm-hmm.
gravity and stuff. Like it's really funny. But like it literally makes me think of the like townspeople in that show whenever he has like whenever he like proves his scientific hypothesis, and they're all like that's not real, like it was the gods. But also it's funny because there actually are like gods and goddesses in the show, and they're like real and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a weird juxtaposition, but it's a really really good show. I think you would like it. It's on Hulu.
Not to bring up Colorado,
No, go ahead.
but did you know Colorado and its borders are also proof that the earth isn't flat? When creating the state of Colorado, it was given the parameters of um, between this longitude and this latitude and this latitude. Like straight up, it was supposed to be a perfectly symmetrical
Like square.
rectangle.
I mean, it's pretty close.
Yes, except instead of having 4 sides, it has over 162 sides. And I'll explain. In the position of between the longitudes, it doesn't really matter. They got those lines pretty straight. It's the latitude that was the issue.
Oh.
Because the Earth curves, they didn't adjust their path to walk diagonally. They walked straight. And so what ended up happening is that they would walk, realize that they were off on their latitude, walk back to where they needed to be,
Ooh.
continue to walk, fix up, and so the edges of Colorado are jagged.
Oh, that's crazy. And they don't show that on the map.
Curves. No. Because it's like by a couple miles.
Yeah. So
it's
not
worth it. Really that much.
Yeah. That's crazy though. I didn't know that.
But they didn't take into account for the curvature of the Earth.
I find it so irritating that like world maps are not to scale. So like the size of continents and states and country like are not actually like in relation to other states and like you know what I mean. So like I keep seeing videos that's like somebody drags Texas onto Greenland, and like Greenland, they make Greenland look bigger than Texas, but Texas is like the same size or bigger than Greenland. Like that's a whole country. I've been having an existential crisis because
we truly exist, and for what?
Yeah, like why do we exist? What am I supposed to do? Like, first of all, how and why did we become civilized? Well, like I know how, but like why? Why did we just decide we need to be more civilized? We need to have table manners. Like why? Who decided that? We need to speak proper. Like I just don't know. How did we develop language?
Sorry, sometimes I just want to ooga booga. Like
no, literally. Like why are things considered rude in society? Why like well, some things are like really like if you're literally like being mean to somebody as a person who they are, that's one thing. But like I don't know. Like why can't I slouch? Why can't I eat my burger with my hands? What like I don't get it. Why did we become civilized?
But that's also Western culture.
Is the tattoo ink in my skin wet or dry? You don't know the answer to that?
I don't want to think about it.
Oh, because there's tattoo ink in your skin, too.
There is tattoo ink.
Is it wet or dry?
Cut one of your tattoos open. I don't know.
No, because, okay, actually, one of the ones on my leg, I actually did, like, I scratched my leg on something and it went, like, through the leg of my crab. And, like, it bled and there was no ink, so it must be dry.
I think it's just dry at this point. Thank you all for listening into today's episode. If you'd like to listen to more of us or find other topics you're interested, hop over to our Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you find your podcasts for YapFest featuring Ben and Lola. If you'd like to watch the video of today's episodes or other episodes, hop over to our YouTube, YapFest featuring Ben and Lola. If you'd like to see some more consistent posting throughout the week and clips from episodes and updates of our episode specials and what's happening with the YapFest podcast, hop over to our TikTok and Instagram, yapfest.podcast.
Yas.
See you all later.
Bye.
Adios.